Welcome to the series namely Breaking the Chains, Overcoming Manipulation and Gaslighting. In this series, we will dive deep into the often unseen and insidious tactics of manipulation and gaslighting, exploring their profound effects on individuals and providing a roadmap for recovery and empowerment. Over the course of 10 chapters, we will guide you through understanding the psychology behind these abusive behaviors, how to recognize the signs, and most importantly, how to reclaim your sense of self, rebuild trust, and move forward with strength. Whether you've experienced manipulation firsthand or are supporting someone who has, this series will offer practical strategies, real-life stories, and powerful tools to help you break free and heal from the trauma of manipulation. Let's begin this journey of transformation, reclaiming control, and rediscovering the truth of who you are. Chapter 1. The Invisible Chains. How manipulation and gaslighting take hold. Have you ever found yourself questioning your own thoughts, doubting your emotions, or even rewriting your memories to fit someone else's version of reality? If so, you may have encountered manipulation or, even worse, gaslighting. These tactics are not merely disagreements or misunderstandings. They are intentional psychological strategies designed to gain power and control over you. In this chapter, we will explore how manipulation and gaslighting work, why they are so effective, and most importantly, how to recognize the warning signs before falling into their trap. Understanding manipulation and gaslighting. Manipulation is a form of psychological influence that is deceptive, exploitative, and harmful. Unlike healthy persuasion, which respects free will and rational decision-making, manipulation involves tactics that deceive, guilt-trip, and emotionally pressure the target into complying with the manipulator's will. It's a strategy that erodes personal autonomy, creating confusion and emotional dependence. One of the most insidious and damaging forms of manipulation is gaslighting, a psychological tactic where the manipulator causes their victim to doubt their perception of reality. The term gaslighting comes from the 1938 play Gaslight, where a husband subtly manipulates his wife into believing she is losing her sanity. He dims the gaslights in their home and denies any change when she notices, convincing her that she must be imagining things. In real-life gaslighting, perpetrators use similar methods, leading their victims to question their memories, experiences, and even their sanity. Manipulators are not just seeking to influence others. They aim to control. The primary goal is to shape the victim's reality in such a way that they begin to depend on the manipulator for their sense of self and truth. While healthy relationships involve open communication and mutual understanding, manipulation operates under secrecy and deceit. It's one-sided, with the manipulator bending the victim's will, often without them realizing it. Manipulation isn't always overt. In fact, one of its most dangerous qualities is its subtlety. Gaslighting, in particular, can be so gradual that victims often don't even realize what's happening until they've been pulled so far into the manipulator's grip that they can no longer trust themselves. By the time the victim has recognized the manipulation, they may feel completely lost and dependent on the manipulator to provide a sense of direction. Psychological studies have helped shed light on the nature of manipulators and their tactics. Dr. George K. Simon, a clinical psychologist specializing in manipulation, notes that manipulators often lack empathy and are highly self-interested. They use their knowledge of human vulnerabilities to twist reality and ensure their own dominance. Whether through guilt-tripping, belittling, or gaslighting, these individuals employ a variety of psychological tactics to maintain control over others. The psychological mechanics behind manipulation. So why are manipulators and gaslighters so successful in their tactics? The answer lies in the psychological vulnerabilities that exist within all of us. We are all susceptible to manipulation in one way or another, especially when we are emotionally vulnerable or when we place too much trust in others. Manipulators are skilled at exploiting these vulnerabilities, often using sophisticated psychological principles to disorient their victims and keep them in a state of confusion. 1. Cognitive dissonance. One of the core principles behind manipulation is cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance occurs when individuals experience mental discomfort due to holding two conflicting beliefs or perceptions. In a gaslighting scenario, the manipulator creates this discomfort by providing conflicting information. For example, the manipulator might tell the victim, "That never happened," even though the victim clearly remembers an event. Over time, the victim is forced to reconcile these conflicting perceptions, and often, they end up doubting their own recollections to reduce the discomfort. 2. Intermittent reinforcement. Manipulators often alternate between affection and cruelty, which creates an addictive cycle that keeps the victim emotionally invested. This principle, known as intermittent reinforcement, is based on the psychology of gambling, where individuals continue playing a slot machine despite losing, because they occasionally win. In relationships with manipulators, moments of kindness and affection become the reward that keeps the victim coming back, even when they are mistreated most of the time. This cycle of hope and despair strengthens the victim's emotional attachment, making it more difficult for them to break free. 3. Learned helplessness. After enduring repeated emotional manipulation, victims can fall into a state known as learned helplessness. This psychological phenomenon occurs when individuals come to believe they have no control over their circumstances. Over time, they stop resisting the manipulator's behavior because they feel powerless to change their situation. As a result, they tolerate abuse or mistreatment, thinking that there is no way out. The manipulator exploits this helplessness to maintain control, and the victim becomes increasingly trapped in the relationship or situation. 4. Social isolation. Gaslighters often work to isolate their victims from friends, family, or anyone who might challenge their version of reality. By reducing the victim's outside support system, the manipulator ensures that they are the only source of truth and validation. This isolation strengthens the manipulator's grip and makes it harder for the victim to seek help or recognize that they are being manipulated. Real-world example: the case of Becky and Alex. Let's consider the story of Becky, a confident woman who entered a relationship with Alex, a charming and charismatic man. In the beginning, Alex was attentive and showered Becky with love, admiration, and grand promises. However, over time, his behavior began to subtly shift. He started making small criticisms, questioning Becky's decisions, and twisting past conversations to make her feel like she was misremembering events. One day, Becky confronted Alex about a hurtful comment he made, only for him to reply, "I never said that. You must be imagining things." At first, Becky shrugged it off, thinking maybe she was overreacting. But as time went on, these instances became more frequent. The once confident and self-assured Becky found herself doubting her memories, second-guessing her emotions, and questioning her own sanity. She began to feel like she was a problem, not Alex. This constant undermining of her sense of reality is a hallmark of gaslighting. Slowly but surely, Alex had managed to erode Becky's self-trust. Over time, she became more dependent on him for a sense of validation and understanding. What started as subtle shifts in behavior evolved into a full-blown emotional manipulation that left Becky feeling trapped in an abusive relationship. Becky's story is not unique. Gaslighting happens in personal relationships, workplaces, and even political settings. Manipulators exploit the human need for connection and validation to create an environment where their victims become emotionally and mentally dependent on them. Recognizing the warning signs. Awareness is the first and most crucial step toward resistance. If you suspect that you are being manipulated or gaslight, recognizing the warning signs can help you regain control of your own reality. Here are some key red flags that may indicate you're dealing with a manipulator or gaslighter. 1. Constant denial and contradiction. Manipulators often deny events, experiences, or conversations that the victim clearly remembers. They may tell you, "That never happened," or "You're imagining things." The goal is to confuse you and make you doubt your own perceptions. 2. Shifting blame. Rather than taking responsibility for their actions, manipulators often turn the blame back on the victim. For instance, they might say, "It's your fault I got upset," or "you made me act this way." This tactic makes the victim feel guilty for things they did not do, further solidifying the manipulator's control. 3. Minimizing your feelings. Manipulators often belittle or invalidate your emotions with phrases like, "you're too sensitive," or "you're being dramatic." This dismisses the victim's legitimate feelings, making them second-guess their emotional reactions and feel guilty for expressing themselves. 4. Withholding information. Gaslighters often withhold important information, leaving their victims in the dark. This lack of transparency breeds confusion and dependence, making it harder for the victim to make informed decisions or understand what's truly happening in the relationship. 5. Sudden charm and affection. After a phase of manipulation, the manipulator may suddenly act loving, kind, or affectionate. This honeymoon phase is designed to keep the victim hooked, making them believe that the manipulator has changed or that they were just misunderstood. This intermittent affection reinforces the cycle of manipulation. How to protect yourself. If you suspect that you are being manipulated or gaslighted, it's essential to take proactive steps to protect yourself and regain control of your reality. Here are some crucial strategies to help you defend against manipulation. 1. Trust your perception. Keep a journal of conversations, events, and feelings. Writing things down helps you maintain an objective record and provides evidence if the manipulator tries to distort your memories. 2. Seek outside perspectives. Talk to trusted friends, family, or a therapist. Having outside perspectives can provide validation and clarity, helping you see the situation from a different angle and recognize manipulation. 3. Set clear boundaries. If someone consistently invalidates your reality, it's important to set firm boundaries. Limit your interactions with individuals who attempt to control or gaslight you. 4. Develop emotional intelligence. Strengthening self-awareness and emotional resilience makes it harder for manipulators to control you. Emotional intelligence helps you recognize when someone is trying to influence you and gives you the tools to resist. 5. Exit toxic relationships. In extreme cases, the best way to reclaim your reality is to remove yourself from the manipulator's influence. Leaving a toxic relationship can be difficult, but it is often the only way to regain your emotional autonomy. Final thoughts. Manipulation and gaslighting are powerful tactics, but they are not invincible. By understanding their mechanics and recognizing the signs, you can protect yourself and reclaim control over your own reality. Remember, manipulators often wear masks of charm, kindness, and intelligence. But behind that mask lies a calculated agenda, one that seeks to control, deceive, and exploit. In our next chapter, we will dive deeper into the specific tactics manipulators use and how to counteract them effectively. Until then, trust yourself, stay informed, and remember, no one has the right to dictate your perception of reality. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on future content. Also, drop a comment below to share your thoughts or experiences. We'd love to continue the conversation.